When I first heard about rooming houses, I remember asking you about the planning permit process. Because on top of being a residential property investor myself, my father was an architectural draftsman, so I was familiar with the complexities of getting developments. And you said to me, no, here in Victoria, we don't need a planning permit. I'm like, so tell me more. There's one huge advantage that I can instantly see. It's not special tenants. It's the man on the street. It's 25 million Australian residents. And as an experienced property investor, I was interested in understanding, so who manages? Right, so you build these things and then give me the keys, and because I've had property management in the past, I have gone through property managers. I've had competent property managers. They tend not to stick around. So I wanted to know what was different. And when you told me that you stick around after and that you're doing the management of the property that you've built, putting the tenants in there, and it becomes a hands-off exercise. So that's where I'm looking. I'm excited about getting more and more of these, what I like to call money printing machines. I think it was 3 or 4 years ago that you and I met as business owners, business experts, and get education on how we can improve the way our businesses work and so on, and we can assist more clients. And there was an instant connection. We started comparing notes, and although we took a little while before we actually met outside of one of the organised events, we were comparing notes on our businesses, and we shared thoughts and ideas about each other's business. And I took a keen interest in Stone Horizon because I have been a property investor for decades. When I first heard about rooming houses, I remember asking you about the planning permit process, because on top of being a residential property investor myself, my father was an architectural draftsman and used to design and draw house plans and lodge for multi-unit development, planning permit applications, and going through the entire process. So I was familiar with the complexities of getting developments. And you said to me, no, here in Victoria, we don't need a planning permit. I'm like, so tell me more. Because all of a sudden, the great big hurdle that I was familiar with when it comes to property development, you're telling me it's gone. It's not there. And I was very interested. And I remember the second thing that I thought of at the time was, well, hang on, this looks from a financial perspective very much like special purpose NDIS investing. But there's one huge advantage that I can instantly see. It's not special tenants. It's the man on the street. It's 25 million Australian residents, not 17,000 people with specialist NDIS funding. And so I was like, wow, I need to learn more about this. I need to understand more. So what about other states? And as an experienced property investor, I was interested in understanding, so who manages? Right, so you build these things and then give me the keys, and because I've had property management in the past, I have gone through property managers. I've had competent property managers. They tend not to stick around. So I wanted to know what was different. And when you told me that you stick around after and that you're doing the management of the property that you've built, putting the tenants in there, and it becomes a hands-off exercise, I was like, I really need to know more about this. And I actually remember the point at which I first decided, no, hang on, I've got a house that I've had, and we're sitting in it at the moment, that I've had as now for more than 21 years. and it's past its use-by date. When the tenant, who was a close associate, so not a problem tenant, when the tenant finally finishes with it, I can't keep this one. It needs too much maintenance. It's too much of a headache. It's going to have to go. When I realised that, hang on, I wonder if this would be a suitable candidate for a rooming house. The very first time I suggested it to you, you didn't seem that interested. You certainly didn't jump and say, give me the address, we'll come and we'll have a look. And it wasn't until the next time, and I brought up and I said, no, I really am serious about this. And I think the second time I said, but on top of that, I'm interested in doing similar, potentially inside my self-managed super fund. And we were actually on the way back from the airport in the Gold Coast. We were sitting in an Uber, and I remember saying, look, this is what I've got in my super fund. This is what I want to use. So it was actually the complete opposite of pressure sales. I had to drag you kicking and screaming to the point of where we're at today. And I've certainly been asking questions about your business, about the model, about the services you provide, and the frustrations involved at times in providing those services. And I just wanted to partake. So I have had a self-managed super fund for a couple of decades now. And it was originally set up for the express purpose of investing in property. I set it up and I actually invested in commercial real estate, which was the closest I was able to do as an arm's length transaction. I purchased what was to be turned into a business office for my business to operate in. And for various reasons, that didn't happen, and the property did end up getting sold. And I've struggled to know what I really wanted to do with my super ever since. Sure, it can sit in equities and so on and so forth, but it's not making the difference. It's not having the impact. And it wasn't what I really wanted to do. I really originally set that up to invest in high cash flow property, being the business premises. I don't have the need for purchasing business premises with my current business. So it sat there not really doing what I wanted it to do. Once I realized that there was enough to be able to build one of these rooming houses, again, with very little effort on my part, simply tick the boxes, hand over the dollars, and wait for a little while, and out pops a cash flow machine that keeps topping up my super. I was in. And I think we even started that project faster than we started this project, because that one's inside super, and it was just like, let's go, let's do it. Here's the super. It's not working hard enough. How quickly can we get this going? And so I was very excited when you finally gave me a list of potential sites and said, here, go and have a look at this and that and this and that. Tell me which one you think you like the best. So I did. I went and I looked, and there was one clear winner for me. So I said, yep, let's do it. And we pressed go. And that one's coming along. Well, the nice thing about this particular property is that it's not inside SMSF. So I can start realizing the cash flow as soon as we finish and put tenants in. And it can provide income right now. Some of that could be channeled back into the SMSF in the form of additional contributions if I like. But the other one that's inside the super fund will start topping up that super fund. One is not enough in the super fund. So what I'm planning to do is top up that super fund with the rent that's collected and get another, because I like the variability of having different locations. I like the diversity of having 9 tenants. when this particular property was tenanted, tenants move on. And the moment a tenant gave notice, my rent stopped completely. Whereas once we've got 9 micro apartments here, tenants will still move on, but only a ninth of it will stop for a week or two, rather than all of it. And so it will just be bumpy, rather than stop and letting fees and, oh, how long is it? And, oh, we need to fix this and we need to fix that. And then it starts again. So that's where I'm looking. I'm excited about getting more and more of these, what I like to call money printing machines. A bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. I have made money from high growth properties. I was lucky. I lost money on other properties where I wasn't so lucky. You win some, you lose some, you can never tell. With high cash flow, when the property is targeting the entire population, and in fact, a growing segment of the population, the number of single person households is undeniably growing. Our tenants will never be a family with 3 children. That's fine. There are other properties for those tenants, but these will be, for the single people, the cheapest option for them. So no matter how bad the economy gets, there's always going to be demand. And especially when the location is strategically selected, I'm particularly excited about this. I'm actually disappointed that I only have 1 here. I really wish I had more, because the demand, the need, we're servicing a genuine need in the community. We're providing high quality housing, high quality properties for people to live in. They get a better experience than trying to rent a 3-bedroom house and then manage the process of finding housemates to split the bills with and all of the issues. And I've been involved in that. I've seen people who have had to take their housemates to VCAT. All of that is gone. These people come in here, they have their own private space. It's at the cheapest end of the market. It's highest quality property, and they get a wonderful experience because they've got a one-on-one relationship with the property manager, with Stone Horizon, who built the property, is maintaining the property and leasing it out to them. So it's like they get the best experience, and as the property owner, I'm getting a better return on my property. I'm getting the property looked after and managed in ways that the organisation has a vested interest in. All I can say is that every which way I've looked at this, it stacks up. It's not a unique population. It's not in far-flung places. It's not, okay, we've built your house, here you go, good luck finding tenants, have a nice day. It's a long-term relationship. It's one where the outcomes from both parties, being Stone Horizon and myself, are tied together. So we're going on a journey together. The number of times I've had real estate agents, when touting for my business, say, yes, we can get this many dollars in rental, and then the day it lists, oh, I don't think we can get that much. And they've immediately lowered my expectations, whether it's selling the house or renting the house, because all they want to do is get a transaction. They simply want to get anybody in there. Whereas with you, I know you don't just want anybody in there, because if that's a headache tenant, you'll be dealing with the headache for me, not me. If they go and trash the place, you'll be dealing with that. And so all of a sudden, our interests are perfectly aligned. We do want to have the place fully tenanted as quickly as possible and as often as possible. So, but we don't want low quality tenants. We want high quality tenants. We don't want to be going off to VCAT to get and so that alignment of needs and results is really important to me. And the fact that I can just say, yes, let's do another one down the track, and Yes, we'll do another one, and we will. We will continue doing them. Okay, so the thing that excites me most about this particular property is that I had something that I thought was going to be a hard potato that I had to get rid of, and I would just get rid of it, take it out of my portfolio and just ditch it, whatever I can get for it. Okay, I just need to move it on. I'm taking something that was, in my eyes, of no value, and I'm going to turn it into something entirely new, which has all of those advantages that I talked about earlier, and it's in the same spot. It's going to make, I've seen the plans and I'm excited about where we're placing the house on the site. I'm excited that from the street, it's going to look not a whole lot different. It'll look a little closer to the street. The neighbours, who I've known for decades, are not going to have a great big monstrosity looming over them. They're going to have more neighbours, but I actually think they're going to like that. But I'm excited by the fact that I can watch this, I can come visit, and I don't actually have to do anything because I'm busy. I'm busy with my own things. And having seen enough of your building sites and the building projects that you've done to date, I'm looking forward to seeing exactly the same thing here on my building site. Nice, clean site, looked after, attention to detail, being able to see inside the property and see the insulation going into the corners, no sloppiness. Because again, you're not just building it to hand over the keys and say, see you later. Oh, sorry, the roof's leaking. Oh, you've passed 7 years. We don't have to fix it anymore. No, we're building this to operate together. And so I'm very excited about, I suppose, the technical aspects of, I've built houses to live in myself before. I won't be living in this one, but I like a long-term view. And so I like the fact that we'll be building a quality building, that the attention to detail will be there, and that I don't have to come down and check every weekend to make sure that it's being built properly, which I've had to do in the past, because I have the complete confidence that it will be built properly. I would love to come back and see the various stages of this project because it's my project. I actually lived in this house for a little while. Although I've had it as a rental for most of its time, it was my home for a while. I'm keenly interested in the knockdown because, as I said, I lived here. So it will be coming down, and I'm fascinated to see what it looks like when it's finished. I hope and expect that it will be something we can all be proud of, and it will make a positive difference to this community that I was a part of and continue to have connections in.